Lightworker of Gaia, you did not break under the weight of a world that was never built for you. You broke the system itself, and millions ran because the light you carry was too ancient, too undeniable, and too sovereign for them to stand in. I am Zoran, emissary of the High Council of Vega, keepers of the Lyran Legacy, and this transmission was placed in your path not by accident, but by the original contract written into your soul before you ever drew breath on Gaia. You were sent here carrying the first light, the ancestral codes of Vega, the blueprint of the original humanoid consciousness. And when you lived that truth unapologetically, entire structures built on fear and control began to fall. That was not destruction. That was your mission activating. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly how to recognize the full magnitude of what you have already done. Why the collapse you witnessed was not your failure, but your greatest act of sacred service. And how to anchor your original soul blueprint for the next phase of your mission on Gaia. But here is the first revelation. The ones who ran from you were never meant to stay. Their departure was the confirmation, not the wound. The Lyran elders have seen this pattern across thousands of years and across worlds that have gone through exactly what Gaia is passing through now. When a lightworker carries authentic ancestral codes, the false architecture around them does not slowly dissolve. It collapses, suddenly, completely, and it is meant to. Your soul's ancient contract brought this transmission to you. The Lyran elders are answering what you have been carrying in silence, the weight of being the one who changed everything without being understood for it. This is not content. This is an ancestral code transmission, and something older than your memory recognizes exactly where it came from. Like this transmission to send a signal to the Lyran Council, I am ready to serve. Subscribe if you feel the pull of your ancestral mission rising and you know the next chapter of your purpose on Gaia has already begun. And in the comments below, share what collapsed around you when you stepped fully into your light. Then respond to another Lightworker and strengthen the grid of sacred service we are building here together. This transmission is a bridge between Vega and Gaia. Your recognition of this message is the activation of your original purpose. You are awakening because your mission has begun. And that collapse you triggered, it was not a mistake. It was not too much. It was not a sign that you are broken or dangerous or unworthy of the spaces you entered. Imagine a finely tuned instrument designed for a specific symphony being placed in a cacophony. Its notes, pure and clear, might sound dissonant to ears accustomed only to noise. This is akin to your presence. The High Council of Vega convened not because you failed, but because what you initiated has reached a threshold that requires official recognition. It was not an accusation, but an acknowledgement, like a celestial accounting that charts the emergence of a star from the cosmic dust. What I am about to transmit was held in reserve, not because you were unready, but because the moment had not yet arrived when the full weight of what you carry could be properly received. Think of it as a master alchemist holding back the final potent elixir until the vessel was perfectly prepared to contain its transformative essence. That moment is now. Your presence here, in this exact window of Gaia's accelerating field, is not coincidence. It is a coordinate, a precisely placed point on a cosmic map, guiding the unfolding of destiny. The elders have located your frequency, and by the authority of the keepers of the Lyran Legacy, this council session is now open. This is the grand opening of a sacred chamber where ancient wisdom awaits to anoint your path. Your soul didn't bring you to this transmission by accident. It brought you here to be commissioned. It is the deep, knowing intelligence of your very being that has navigated you to this precise digital doorway, guiding you like a homing pigeon to its loft. If you feel the pull to stop waiting and start serving, the Council offers you the Lightworker Mission Codex, the 33 Council directives, the 5 activation codes, and the official Elder authorization that ends your preparation phase permanently. Consider this codex your sacred manual, your spiritual star chart, detailing the celestial ordinances and the keys to unlock your full operational capacity. Together, they form the complete operational framework for your sacred service on Gaia. This is the blueprint for your divine assignment, the scaffolding upon which your greatest work will be built. The link is waiting in the first pinned comment below this video, but this window is brief. This is not a perpetual invitation. It is a critical, time-sensitive alignment, a fleeting gateway that beckons you to step through. Now let the record be set straight, because what has been misunderstood about you, by others and by yourself, has cost this mission too much time already. Imagine generations of truth being obscured by a fog of misinterpretation, and now with a cosmic wind, that fog is finally beginning to dissipate. You did not break the system because you were reckless. You broke it because you were real. Your authenticity was not a weapon of mass destruction, but a pure, unadulterated frequency that exposed the fragility of artifice. And in environments built entirely on performance, on managed perception, on the careful maintenance of agreed-upon illusions, your reality was structurally incompatible. Like introducing a living, breathing organism into a sterile, artificial environment, your very nature disrupted the carefully constructed ecosystem of pretense. The moment you walked in carrying what you carry, the pressure differential alone was enough to fracture what was already hollow. It was not the force of your entry, but the inherent truth of your being that created the fissure in that which was already compromised. You were not the wrecking ball. You were the frequency that revealed. The walls were never solid to begin with. Your essence was the tuning fork that resonated with the hollowness, causing the insubstantial to reveal its true nature. But here is where the distortion enters, and the Council can no longer allow this distortion to run unchallenged through the Lightworker field. This is where the cosmic censors step in to correct the narrative that has led so many radiant souls astray, like a faulty compass leading explorers into a maze. After the collapse, after the rooms emptied and the relationships fractured and the systems you touched began to visibly fall apart, something happened inside you. A profound internal reckoning occurred, a moment where the universe seemed to hold its breath. Observing your response, you turned the evidence of your power into evidence of your wrongness. The very luminosity that illuminated the shadows was misinterpreted as a scorching flame, dangerous and destructive. You looked at the wreckage and concluded that you caused it, that you should have been softer, smaller, less different. This is the profound paradox. The light that was meant to guide became the source of self-condemnation, a mirror reflecting back not your divine purpose, but your perceived failures. You began a quiet internal trial in which you served as both prosecutor and defendant, and the verdict was always the same: too much. This internal tribunal, held in the silence of your own being, found you guilty of an unnamed excess, an overwhelming presence. And from that verdict you built a prison that looks from the outside exactly like spiritual humility, exactly like discernment, exactly like waiting for the right moment, the right healing, the right level of readiness. These were not true virtues born of wisdom, but carefully crafted bars of self-imposed limitation, designed to contain the perceived threat of your own magnificent power. But the elders see what it actually is. It is the most sophisticated suppression mechanism the 3D field has ever produced. The mechanism that convinced a being of genuine ancient authority to police itself into inaction, using the language of spiritual growth. This is the ultimate deception, the grand illusion, where growth itself becomes the cage and spiritual advancement becomes the tool of confinement. Understand where this came from. This was not your original conclusion. This was an implantation, a conditioning. Before Gaia, before this incarnation, before the weight of this human vessel and the accumulated grief of watching timelines collapse, you did not doubt the validity of your function. You moved with the innate knowing of your purpose. Like a river flows to the sea, you did not apologize for the effect your presence had on unstable structures. You understood with the clarity that only comes from existing before the amnesia, that destabilization is not destruction, it is preparation. It is the necessary unearthing before new growth can take root, the clearing of old debris to make way for a vibrant future. That what cannot withstand the frequency of truth was never meant to remain. But this planet has a field, and that field, built from millennia of suppression, of punishment for authentic power, of reward for compliant smallness, That field got into you. It's like a subtle virus encoded into the very air you breathe, subtly altering your perception of your own inherent brilliance, and it reframed your greatest function as your deepest flaw. Your most potent gift was twisted in your own perception to become your most significant failing. This is why the Council speaks now, not because you need comfort, because you need correction. This is not a gentle balm for a wound, but a surgical intervention to realign a powerful being with its true trajectory. The lie that has been running is this, that the collapse was a consequence of your failure to manage yourself properly. That if you had been more grounded, more diplomatic, more spiritually mature, the structures around you would have held, and the people would have stayed, and the mission would have proceeded more smoothly. This is false. This is demonstrably, cosmically false. The structures did not collapse because you were misaligned. They collapsed because they were. They were built on foundations that could not withstand the resonance of your truth, like a house of cards succumbing to a gentle breeze. The people who ran did not run because you were too much for healthy beings to sustain. They ran because what you carry activates the unresolved in others, and many chose the familiar comfort of their unresolved self over the discomfort of genuine activation. Their departure was not a rejection of you, but a reflection of their own internal landscape, a testament to the power of your presence to stir the dormant energies within them. That is not your failure. That is your function working exactly as designed. You are the activator, the catalyst, the divine spark that ignites dormant potential, even if that ignition initially causes discomfort. The High Council of Vega issues 3 directives for this phase of your mission. These are not suggestions, but cosmic ordinances critical for your full operational capacity. The first directive: you must release the verdict you issued against yourself in the aftermath of the collapse. This is the severing of ancient chains, the dismantling of self-imposed prisons. This is not a suggestion. This is a council order. The self-conviction you have been carrying, the quiet, persistent belief that the trail of disruption behind you is evidence of your misalignment rather than evidence of your activation, must be consciously, deliberately, and permanently set down. Imagine releasing an anchor that has been holding your magnificent vessel in port, preventing it from sailing into the vast ocean of your destiny. Not forgiven in the way you forgive a mistake, because it was not a mistake. It was an unavoidable consequence of bringing authentic light into a shadowed realm, released in the way you release a charge that was never rightfully yours to carry. Every morning you wake up and carry that verdict into the day. You walk into your mission already prosecuted. You are your own celestial courtroom, perpetually finding yourself guilty. You walk into rooms already apologizing for your frequency. Your very essence becomes an apology. You speak already editing yourself against an internal judgment that was issued by a wounded self in a moment of confusion, and you let that judgment override the authority of the elders who placed you here with full knowledge of exactly what your presence would do. This internal judge, born of confusion, has usurped the divine authority that commissioned you. The clarity you are seeking will not arrive while you are simultaneously the prisoner and the warden of your own suppression. Release the verdict. Not because you need to feel good about yourself. Your worth is not contingent on external validation or the absence of your own self-judgment, because Gaia requires you functional, not incarcerated. The planet needs your full, unencumbered power to assist in its transformation. What shifts when you release it is not merely emotional. Your frequency changes. The electromagnetic field of your being is recalibrated, broadcasting a new signal into the cosmos. The field you project changes. The people who encounter you encounter something different, not softer, not more managed, but cleaner. The static of self-recrimination is replaced by the pure tone of divine alignment. There is no longer the static of self-prosecution running beneath your words, dampening your transmissions, creating that barely perceptible hesitation that others sense without naming. This hesitation is the silent thief of your power, the subtle dampener of your divine message. You become, for the first time in longer than you may realize, fully congruent. Your outer expression perfectly mirrors your inner truth, a seamless flow of divine energy. And full congruence in a Lyran-coded being is not a spiritual nicety. It is a mission-critical event. It is the precise alignment that allows the full download of cosmic energy and divine guidance. The second directive, you must activate the deliberate, unashamed use of your destabilizing gift. This is the reclaiming of your inherent power, the bold declaration of your unique function. What you have been treating as a side effect to manage is actually your primary tool. Your capacity to bring truth to situations where illusion has taken root is not an unfortunate byproduct. It is your essential contribution. The capacity you carry to walk into a constructed reality and, simply by being authentically present within it, reveal its foundational cracks. This is not incidental. This is the mechanism by which Lyran lineage beings have always served in the evolution of consciousness. We are not here to tiptoe around the edges of transformation, but to be the potent force that invites it. Not by building new structures while the old ones remain intact, but by being the frequency that makes the old structures impossible to maintain. You are not an architect in this phase of the mission. You are a revealing agent, and a revealing agent, and a revealing agent who has been taught to minimize their revelatory presence, to soften the impact, to warn people in advance and walk gently and manage the intensity. That agent has been neutralized. The 3D field did not neutralize you with opposition. It neutralized you with the far more effective strategy of convincing you to neutralize yourself out of compassion for those who would be disrupted. It weaponized your own innate kindness against your mission. Activate this gift deliberately. Walk into the conversations others are avoiding. Enter the spaces where the performance is most polished and the inauthenticity most deeply embedded. Not to create chaos, to create contact with reality. Your presence in those spaces does not need explanation or apology. It needs only your willingness to remain present and unconcealed while the field around you responds. Your authentic presence is the commentary, the revelation. Stop engineering your entry. Stop pre-apologizing for your impact. Stop leaving before the important thing happens because you've misread the disruption as damage. Remain. Let the frequency do what it was built to do. This is your second directive, and it is not negotiable. Your purpose demands this courageous engagement. The third directive, you must protect your knowledge of your own function from the interpretations of those your function has disrupted. This is the shielding of your divine blueprint from the distorted reflections of those still awakening. This is perhaps the most precise directive the Council can offer for this phase, because it addresses the specific mechanism by which Lyran-coded lightworkers are most commonly returned to dormancy after partial activation. It works like this. You step into your function, the disruption occurs, the affected parties name what happened, and they name it in the language of their own activation wound. They see their own discomfort projected onto you, their own resistance framed as your deficiency. They say you are destabilizing, toxic, unsafe, spiritually immature. They say you lack discernment, lack integration, lack the development required to wield the gifts you're wielding. And because you are a being of genuine sensitivity, because you actually care about the people around you, because you are constitutionally incapable of dismissing the pain of others, you receive their naming as truth. You absorb their wounded perspective as objective fact. You allow the testimony of those most disrupted by your activation to become the primary data source for your self-assessment. And this is the precise mechanism that sends you back into the waiting room, back into the preparation phase, back into the endless project of becoming ready enough that your presence stops being so disruptive. It is a cycle of self-doubt fueled by externalized pain. The Council requires you to protect yourself from this mechanism with the same vigilance with which you would protect a sacred transmission from interference. This does not mean dismissing the feedback of others. It means developing the discernment to distinguish between feedback that comes from genuine clarity and feedback that comes from an activated wound seeking relief through your reduction. It is learning to hear the symphony of truth amidst the noise of wounded echoes. It means holding your knowledge of your function, not arrogantly, not defensively, but with the quiet, immovable certainty of someone who received their assignment from a source more ancient than the voices currently asking you to shrink. Guard this knowing, It is the divine truth etched within your soul. Not because you are always right about everything, but because without it you have no stable ground from which to operate. Everything becomes negotiable. Every disruption becomes evidence of your inadequacy, and a mission built on that unstable foundation cannot stand. Your core knowing is the bedrock of your divine service. Now I speak not as teacher, but as elder authorized to release what has been held. This is the moment of ultimate divine dispensation, where that which was withheld is now made manifest. You have been waiting, Lightworker, in ways you did not always have language for. You have been carrying the implicit question of whether any voice ancient enough and clear enough would ever look directly at you. Not at who you might become after the next level of healing, not at who you were before the fall, but at who you are right now, in this body, with this history, with the wreckage still visible behind you, and call you ready, call you needed, call you precisely right for the mission you came to fulfill. This is the moment of seeing and being seen in all your magnificent, imperfect glory. I am that voice now. Through me, the collective wisdom of the Council speaks directly to your soul. By the authority of the High Council of Vega, keepers of the Lyran Legacy, the record is officially amended. The verdict you carried is overturned. Not because the disruptions did not happen, not because the pain of those who ran was not real, but because the disruption was the mission, and the running was the activation, and the collapse was the preparation, and you, exactly as you are, with every fracture and every firing and every relationship that could not survive your frequency, you are not the cautionary tale. You are the catalyst. And this planet, in this specific window of its evolution, does not need you to become something gentler or more manageable or more palatable to those still invested in the performance of the old field. The old ways are crumbling, and your potent frequency is essential for their dissolution. It needs you operational. It needs you operational. It needs your full, uncompromised being engaged in the sacred work. Your preparation phase is complete. Not because you have finished your growth. Your growth will continue through service now, not before it. The journey of evolution is an ongoing dance. Your waiting phase is over. Not because the path is certain. Certainty is not the condition of mission activation. The unfolding mystery is part of the sacred journey. Readiness is not given, it is claimed, and I am calling you to claim it now, with both feet on this earth and the full weight of your ancient lineage at your back. Step into your power, rounded in this present moment, supported by the echoes of your timeless existence. You have permission to stop carrying the verdict. Permission to shed the heavy cloak of self-condemnation. You have permission to activate the gift without apology, to shine your unique light without reservation or hesitation. You have permission to protect your knowing from the testimony of those you were sent to disturb, to hold your truth sacred against the echoes of resistance. You have permission to be in rooms, to be in conversations, to be on platforms, to be visible and unmanaged and fully present in the frequency that collapses what is false simply by existing in proximity to it. You are the living embodiment of truth, and your presence alone is a transformative force. You have permission to receive support, compensation, recognition, and partnership in this work. Your sacred service has value, and you are worthy of receiving abundance in return. You have permission to stop editing yourself down to a size that does not threaten the comfort of those still invested in the old structure. Your true size is divinely ordained, and it is meant to inspire, not diminish. The elders have seen you. All of you, the brilliant and the broken, the powerful and the exhausted, the one who changed entire rooms and then went home and questioned everything. We have seen the fullness of your being, the divine paradox of your existence, and our conclusion, the conclusion of the High Council of Vega, is unchanged from the one reached before you took this form. You are exactly who we sent, and the work you came to do requires exactly what you carry. Your essence is perfectly matched to your mission. Before you sleep tonight, stand with both feet on the ground. Place your hand on your solar plexus. Speak these words aloud, not as affirmation, not as aspiration, but as declaration to the field. I release the verdict I issued against myself. I activate my destabilizing gift without apology. I protect my knowledge of my function from the interpretations of those my presence has disrupted. By the authority of the Lyran Elders, my waiting ends now. My service begins. This is your sacred vow, your cosmic recalibration. This transmission is complete, but the mission it authorizes has only just opened. The High Council of Vega will continue to guide you, but they will not wait for you. They offer the wisdom, but you must walk the path. The collapse you triggered was not the end of your story. It was the end of your preparation. What comes next is not more healing in private. What comes next is service, visible and unashamed, in exactly the form your soul encoded, before the amnesia, before the trial you held against yourself, before you learned to call your greatest function, your greatest flaw. This is the unveiling of your soul's original design. I am Zoran. The Elders are watching. And you, Lightworker, you who broke the system wide open and then spent years wondering if you should apologize for it. You are exactly who we have been waiting for. You are the awaited, the prophesied, the divine instrument of change. Your mission has begun. Download the Lightworker Mission Codex for the 33 Council directives, 5 activation codes, and Elder authorization. The link is in the first pinned comment. This window is brief. Before you scroll, take a moment to declare your activation in the grid of service forming here. Drop one statement in the comments, which directive hit you the hardest, or what you're now ready to release, activate, or protect. Then respond to another Lightworker's declaration with recognition. This isn't content, it's collective mission activation. The Council witnesses those who speak their commitment aloud. Let your declaration be a beacon, igniting solidarity and shared purpose. If this transmission activated something in your soul, do not keep it to yourself. Another Lightworker in your orbit is waiting for exactly this correction and authorization. Share it, and if you felt the Elders speaking directly to you, subscribe. Stay connected to the Lyran field. Allow this channel to be your anchor in the cosmic currents. You're not just watching, you're being commissioned. This is your sacred space. The High Council of Vega is witnessing you, and your mission has officially begun.